So last night I probably had the worst low I ever had in my life as being a type 1 diabetic. And I had this type of low specifically 3 times already. And I feel like it's very important for me to say from what happened and tell my experience, because I feel like it's very important for you to hear it from a type 1 diabetic perspective, especially if you're someone dealing with a lot of low blood sugar levels and you're scared and you have a lot of fear inside of you when it comes to low blood sugar levels. As you know, if you follow my content, I'm very diligent, I'm very persistent in managing my blood sugar levels. I like to consider myself a master at managing my own blood sugar levels, and that's what I also do. I also help other type 1 diabetics manage their blood sugar levels. So I'm always thinking about managing blood sugar levels, how to improve. And one of my big concepts is that you have to understand why these lows are happening in the first place. You have to understand the way to get over a certain fear, and it's a fear that only type 1 diabetics are going to understand, that are scared to give themselves insulin because of low blood sugar levels. It's a fear that you have to confront, and the way to confront that is by gaining understanding. So I feel like it's very important to share this video and my experience with this low. So to give you a little bit of background on what was going on, and I'm going to explain the type of low. So make sure, especially if you're on Lantus, make sure to listen to this full video. Lantus long-acting insulin, and that's equivalent to Basaglar or Basaglar, or however you want to call it. Make sure you pay attention, because this is really important for you to know that most doctors are not saying. So I was getting ready for bed. It was around 10, and I injected myself. I was at 167 mgdl. I injected myself with 1 unit of short acting, and also I split my long acting, my Lantus, in nighttime and morning, and I gave myself my nighttime long acting. Now, when I inject, I'm very careful that I do not hit a vein, because if you hit a vein, it's very, very dangerous. And I have veiny thighs, so I go on my thigh and I give myself an injection in my thigh of 12 units. Now, I know I didn't hit a vein, but when I took the injection out, it started bleeding, and I could feel that it was a ball. It was almost as like if the insulin didn't go in, but it stayed like somewhere where I could feel it build up on my skin. So I thought that was very weird, but I didn't pay much mind to it. So I kind of massaged it and kind of try to like disperse it, if that makes any sense. But it didn't work. So I kind of just left it alone, and I was at 167. And then all of a sudden I was talking to someone on the phone. I hang up the phone. I start reading a book, and all of a sudden I can't concentrate on what's going on in the book. I'm like completely at lost. I'm like, I don't know, like I'm confused. So the first instinct was to check my blood sugar level. So what I did is I stopped, and I'm starting to check my blood. I stopped reading the book and I start checking my blood sugar level. Now, when I start to check my blood sugar level, I start getting extremely scared. Like, it's the buildup. Like, I'm checking my blood sugar level, and like I'm about to prick my finger. I'm like, I'm definitely low. Like, I'm definitely low. Like, this is crazy right now. I'm definitely low. I check my blood sugar level and I see it was 31 mgdl. So at that point, I'm like, whoa, like a fear came upon me, and the first thing I did was I grabbed my blood sugar level, the sugar tablets. I don't have them with me right now. They're in my pouch. But these tablets are literally the fastest acting sugar that I ever use. So I opened the tablet, and at 31 mgdl, it all kind of hits me out, like it starts hitting me at once. So the feeling is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So I'm there eating sugar tablets, eating sugar tablets, sitting in my bed, just literally just housing sugar tablets, because that's the only thing that I can possibly think of doing. Like, there's no, like, and it's weird because it's like almost as if I'm fighting for my life in silence. And it was it was a crazy experience. So I'm eating sugar tablets and it's getting worse. So I check my blood sugar level, and like I see like it's just not going up for 5 minutes. But what felt 5 minutes felt an eternity. And I felt like I was just like, again, in silence. So I went downstairs of my house and I sat in the kitchen, and the first thing I did was, with my sugar tablets and my meter, I sat down in the kitchen and my brother was there, and I said, listen, I'm having the worst low I ever had. And at first, like, I said I'm having a low, and like he didn't understand, like, oh, okay, Martin's having a low. But then I was like, no, I'm serious. I'm having a really, really bad low. And the low just started getting intenser. It was like a feeling of like heat flashes, shakiness, and it was just like the feeling, the actual physical feeling was getting scarier and scarier. That's why I went downstairs. And then my brother was there. He pulls out a big jar of Nutella, and I was with my sugar tablet, so I knew I was gonna be good. And I checked my blood sugar levels and I saw it starting to go up. So that's when the fear left me. Like, I stopped being scared after I saw that my sugar level was going up. Now, that's what happened to me last night, right? And only if you're a type 1 diabetic, you really understand. I literally was about to die or go unconscious or whatever. I had a really, really bad low. And this is the third time that this happens to me. And these lows are caused by the long-acting insulin Lantus. And I don't hear any doctor ever talk about this. But if you inject Lantus in a vein, they say Lantus starts working as short-acting. So there was no reason I should have dropped that low that fast. And I'm telling you, these are the worst low. When it comes to blood sugar level, understand that I know how insulin affects everything in my body. Like, if I inject 2 units, 1 unit, 3 units, whatever, I know how everything is going to affect my body and what I need to do. In this case, it felt like I injected 12 units of my long acting, but it felt like it was my short acting because of this, like how fast it went down. Now, this is a scary thing because it's a insulin shot that I have to give myself every morning and every night. I can't avoid this insulin shot. There's different types of long acting. I don't mind Lantus. The only thing about Lantus and, again, Basaglar, it's the type of long acting insulin. There's a name that I don't know how to pronounce, but I'm gonna put it down here. That's the problem, that this insulin really can cause these scary lows. And if you're not aware, I felt like 5 minutes, if I didn't react 5 minutes soon, if I reacted 5 minutes later, I would have been in a really, really bad place. Again, I hate this disease. I hate certain aspects of it, but I know if you have more control, more understanding, the quality of your life as a type 1 diabetic will improve. And I want to spread awareness because I know that nobody's talking about this, right? And this is something very important, especially with long acting that a lot of type 1 diabetics take. So be very careful when injecting long acting insulin. And I'm going to do a ton of more research on this because this is the third time that this happened to me. And at this point, I can pinpoint why certain things happen automatically. And I know that it's caused by the long acting. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm very sure I didn't inject the vein, but as soon as I took the needle out, it started bleeding and it felt like there was a huge lump, and that had something to do with it, I guarantee. So again, if you're a type 1 diabetic, if you're watching this right now, just know that I love you, and I want to make sure that you know that you're not alone in this. I want to share my journey with lows and the fear of lows, and this is something very important. A lot of people are scared of lows. I work with a lot of type 1s that they have an absolute fear of low blood sugar levels. Now, I'm here to tell you that lows are part of this disease. You have to accept, you have to deal with them, and I have faith, and I pray that God will always guide you through those lows, that you're going to know what to do at all moments, because that's how I feel. I'm at peace. It doesn't affect my mindset. I bounce back from it. I'm ready to go. I'm injecting insulin like normal. There's no fear, and it's a bounce back really quick. And I just feel like I'm grateful that God is guiding me through this, and I want to tell you that He's going to guide through it too. Just believe and trust in yourself and your ability, and just stay calm as possible in those situations. And the key is to figure it out, understand why those lows are happening. But I'm not going to get into that in this video. So I hope this helped you, and again, wishing you all the best.